We're going to talk with a marriage expert, Sheila Weber. Good morning, Sheila. How are you?
Good morning. Great to be with you.
Nice to have you on the program, Sheila. Hey, first of all, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I live in New York City, and I've worked as a journalist and in media relations. My husband actually is from Dubuque, Iowa, so it's fun to be talking with you today. And I'm focusing on, strengthening marriages. It happens to be that my husband and I have helped a lot of people work on their marriages, and now we're trying to get national attention to raise marriage as a national issue because it's costing us as a country so much, both in terms of real dollars and in terms of how it's affecting our children. And so I've got lots to say about that. But
well, Sheila, the statistics are pretty bad. First-time marriages, over 50% divorce rate?
50% divorce rate. And, one of the big concerns as we're looking at the economic devastation right now is that taxpayers are spending at least $112 billion a year on divorce and on childbearing. Some data actually pushes it over $200 billion a year. And 40% of all American babies today are born outside of marriage. These are really shocking statistics, and we need to do better. We can do better. It used to be in 1970 that 79% of all adults in America were married. That's dropped down to 57%, which means we just have higher levels of cohabitation and less commitment to the institution of marriage. But what we need to know is that research shows that marriage makes individuals wealthier, have more personal economic stability, gives them better health and longer lives. They have greater personal happiness, and children are far, far better off by being raised by both their mother and their father. I mean, all kinds of research shows that children do better in school, have less trouble with the law, less teen pregnancy, and fewer issues with addiction. So we want to celebrate marriage. We want to get people thinking in a new way, that not to see marriage as a consumer relationship where if you don't meet my needs, I'm out of here, but a commitment. And when you make a commitment, then you're more likely to say, okay, I'm going to work at this. And so what we've done is we've loaded hundreds and hundreds of wonderful classes and conferences that are happening this weekend, right before Valentine's Day, all across the country. People can go in and plug in their state and see all kinds of ways that they can go and work on their marriage. And we have lots of fun tools for Valentine's Day. Great date night idea, a couples checkup quiz, 5 love language quiz, love letters kits. So we have real ways for people to get help. A lot of times folks don't know where to get the help they need. They're kind of suffering privately with their marriage issues. And when people get the help they need and have some marriage education, we've seen that they can get on the other side of those stressful times, and it will, in the long run, benefit them.
Sheila, how do you keep the romance going in a marriage?
Well, one of the ways is to look for ways to have fun. I think marriages get kind of trapped with the mundane, issues of just functioning, and it becomes like a business relationship. So you have to make sure that you find companionable things to do together, and play. Go play together. Make sure you sit down and eat meals and have conversation. So eating together, playing together, and there are lots of this is part of what all the marriage classes will help people with, is how to reignite that attraction that obviously initially brought you together.
We're talking with Sheila Weber. Valentine's right around the corner and strengthening marriages. You talk about the 5 love languages, Sheila. Why don't you explain that a little bit?
Boy, I'm going to have to draw my memory bank here, but Gary Chapman has written a best-selling book, so it's called The 5 Love Languages, and I would recommend that people go Google that and look it up on Amazon. We've got references on our site, and we have a little quiz at National Marriage Week USA. So there are 5 categories that people resonate with, that acts of service would be one, or loving touch would be another. And so you discover what really matters to you, what makes you feel loved. And you might be giving that to your spouse, but that's not your spouse's love language. And so it helps if you find out what your own love language is, and your spouse becomes aware of it, and vice versa, that you understand what is a loving thing that your spouse needs. And so you learn what each other's needs are.